Welcome to a sold-out Smackdown from San Antonio, Texas. Do we have an exciting show for you tonight? They've really come alive here tonight in the Alamo City. They know they're about to see the greatest superstars in sports entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackdown, coming to you tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina. An enthusiastic crowd and the greatest superstars in sports entertainment. You can't ask for more than that. It's the city so nice they named it twice. Tonight, Smackdown comes to you from the Big Apple, New York City. It sure is, partner. And you know, it's always a huge event whenever Smackdown comes to the city that never sleeps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to sunny San Jose, California. You're not going to believe what we've got for you tonight. You got that right. And so are these San Jose fans. They can't wait to see the Smackdown superstars in action, and neither can I. A mile-high city, Denver, Colorado, is home to Smackdown tonight, and what a show we've got for you. You know it, partner. The Smackdown superstars are ready for action, and I can't wait to get started.
Tonight's Smackdown's going to bring down the house in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm Michael Cole here with JBL at ringside. Neither can I, and I'm sure these Salt Lake fans can't either, so let's get this show on the road. Good evening, and welcome to Los Angeles, where a sellout crowd is ready for some Smackdown action.
And not just any superstars, but the Smackdown superstars, the greatest superstars in sports entertainment. Tinseltown will never be the same.
I'm Michael Cole. This is JBL, and we welcome you to Portland, Oregon. It's been a long time since we've come to Portland, and it's great to be back.
And neither can these fans. We better get started, or we might have a riot on our hands.
It's a sold-out crowd tonight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and what a show we've got for you tonight. There sure won't. The Smackdown superstars are fired up, and so are these WWE fans, so let's get started.
Good evening, and welcome to Smackdown, coming to you tonight from Atlanta, Georgia.
With good reason. You and I know both what's coming up, and these fans are definitely getting their money's worth tonight. Houston, Texas is home to Smackdown action tonight. I'm Michael Cole here with JBL at ringside, and what a show we've got for you tonight.
You've got that right, partner. The Space City loves Smackdown, and the superstars are not going to let them down.
Listen to that crowd. This is Michael Cole with JBL at ringside, bringing you Smackdown action from Huntsville, Alabama.
No question, the Smackdown superstars never failed to bring the house down, and Seattle will never be the same after tonight.
Good evening, and welcome to Miami, Florida, and we are in for an unbelievable evening of Smackdown action. That makes two of us, and I know the entire Smackdown locker room feels the same way, so what are we waiting for? A sold-out crowd in Memphis, Tennessee is on its feet and ready for another exciting evening of Smackdown action. That's a big claim to make, partner, but you might just be right. Elvis was only one superstar, but Smackdown's got a whole locker room full of them. A big Smackdown welcome to all of our North American fans from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm Michael Cole, here with JBL at ringside. You're absolutely right. There's no doubt in my mind that the Smackdown superstars are going to give Toronto the show of a lifetime. Welcome to a sold-out show from the Great White North. Tonight, Smackdown comes to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Better stick to your version of English, partner. No matter what language you speak, the actions of the Smackdown superstars will speak much louder than words.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a sold-out show here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It sure is. Green Bay knows that they're about to see the greatest superstars in all of sports entertainment. I can't wait to get started.
Good evening to our U.S. and Canadian fans from Vancouver, B.C., and what a show we've got for you tonight, partner? What can I say? The enthusiasm of these Vancouver fans is contagious. I can't remember the last time I saw a crowd this pumped up for Smackdown action. A big Southern California welcome to all our Smackdown fans. I'm Michael Cole, here with JBL, ringside in San Diego.
No kidding, partner. San Diego couldn't be more excited for Smackdown action, and we couldn't be more excited to be here.
This sold-out crowd is on its feet tonight here in St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm with you on that, partner. We've got a great show here tonight for these St. Louis fans, and I can't wait to get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole and JBL here at ringside, welcoming you to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, what can I say? These Minneapolis fans have got me in such a great mood. I'm feeling especially generous tonight. Tonight, WWE comes to you from Detroit, Michigan. And take a look at this capacity crowd behind me. Could they be any more excited?
You're absolutely right. The Smackdown superstars are going to take the Motor City to the limit tonight. Good evening, and welcome to a sold-out show from Phoenix, Arizona. And have we got a show for you tonight?
That's a bold statement, partner, but I can't disagree. I don't think Phoenix has any idea what they're in for tonight.
Welcome to Boston, Massachusetts, where this sold-out crowd is on its feet.
Well, they're going to get it. SmackDown's champions are here. Boston's going to see the best of the best in action tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Smackdown Action, coming to you tonight from Manchester, New Hampshire.
And they're going to get it. The SmackDown superstars never fail to go all out, and that's why SmackDown's the #1 brand in sports entertainment.
A north of the border welcome to all of our SmackDown fans. We're coming to you tonight from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
If not bigger, these Edmonton fans cannot be more fired up for tonight's show, and they know that they're in for the thrill of a lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the SmackDown superstars are coming to you tonight from Kansas City, Missouri. Nothing that I can think of, partner. I know the SmackDown superstars can't wait to put on a show for Kansas City, and neither can I. Hershey, Pennsylvania has gone absolutely crazy for SmackDown action. That's because they know that they're about to see the greatest superstars in sports entertainment. Who can blame them for being excited? We are just minutes away from SmackDown action coming to you tonight from Anaheim, California. And have you ever seen a crowd more excited than this one here?
That makes two of us, partner. Let's get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SmackDown action from Calabasas, California.
I know what you mean, partner. It must be the great reception we get from these Southern California fans. It's unfortunate, but you always run that risk in a match like this. Oh my, I think someone's just been busted open. I think these fans came here to see superstars compete in a match, not beat each other to a bloody pulp. I can't tell if that's a cut or a broken nose, but either way, the referee might need to stop this fight. Oh no, I think he's bleeding from that last shot. Get in there and take a look at him, ref. I hope this is over soon. No matter how many times I see this, I just can't get used to it. He's bleeding all over the place. This one's getting ugly. Maybe so, but I'm more concerned about the risk to his physical well-being now that he's been busted open. After that last shot, I'm not surprised. I hope the referee doesn't let this go on too much longer. And it looks like he's bleeding. This is not going to help his chances. Well, that doesn't seem like a good strategy to me. I hope he ends this before he suffers a serious injury.
Oh my, look at the blood just pouring down his face. I don't know that I'd agree with that. I hate to see a superstar risk a serious injury like this. How can you sound so excited? These are human beings in the ring, for God's sake.
This is a big risk. Will it pay off? I think we're about to see a high-risk move from the top rope. I don't know if this is such a good move. This could be disastrous. This is going to be big, one way or the other. Top rope moves can win or lose you the match. There's very little middle ground. A high-risk maneuver in the works from that top turnbuckle. So much can go wrong from that top turnbuckle. He's climbing the turnbuckle. Will this pay off? He's stalking his opponent from the top turnbuckle.
I think someone's been taking flying lessons.
These superstars are beating the hell out of each other 15 feet in the air. Neither superstar is giving an inch, but only one of them can stay up there. If he can win this struggle, he might just win the match. This is not a fight that either superstar can afford to lose. What incredible intensity from these two superstars, trading blows high above the ring. These competitors are going to trade blows until someone falls off the ladder. Neither one of these superstars wants to be the one to fall off the ladder. Both of these superstars are determined to stay on the ladder. This is a pivotal moment. Whoever comes up short here might just lose the match. Wow, look at him up there, trading shots back and forth. Only a few inches separate him from his goal. This one's over if he grabs the title. The title is only inches away. This could be the match right here. Can he do it? Victory is within his reach, but can he grab it? He's literally inches away from victory. He's going for it. The title is nearly within his grasp. If he can take down the title, he's going home with it. He's about to win the match and the title. Gut check time. Can he reach the title before his opponent stops him? And this could be the Money in the Bank match right here. If he grabs that briefcase, this match is over. Never have so few inches seemed so far away. Victory may be within reach right here. He's literally inches away from winning this one. The briefcase is only inches away. If he can grab that briefcase, he gets the contract. He could win the Money in the Bank match right here. I think he could be going home with the Money in the Bank briefcase right here. Oh my God! This could be the end of the match! Can he reach it? What an incredible impact! The table practically exploded! I don't know who's in worse shape, the table or the superstar. Oh my God! He smashed his opponent right through the table! I don't believe it! He put his opponent right through the table! What a move! But this isn't a tables match! You still gotta get the title to win! Through the table! His opponent's in no shape to stop him now! Oh my God, what an impact! Now can he get the title before his opponent comes to? The table's been broken in half, and so has his opponent. Did you see that? He just drove his opponent right through the table. Wow, I don't think his opponent's getting up anytime soon. He's heading for the top of the cage. It's a long climb up the cage, but a quick and painful fall if you're not fast enough.
It looks as if he's had enough of this steel cage match.
Here we go. He's making his escape. Will his opponent stop him from escaping, or is this one over? There he goes. If he can make it over and out of the cage, this one's over. He wants out of this unforgiving steel cage, and who can blame him? Escape is only 10 feet away, but it's got to be the longest 10 feet of this superstar's life. He could do it. He could escape the cage right here. If he didn't make sure his opponent was out, this is going to be a very short climb. Look at that. He made it to the top of the cage. This match could be over right here. He made it to the top. Unless his opponent moves quickly, this one is history. So close. The superstar is so close to escape. He's reached the top of the cage. This could be it. You've got to get out of the cage to win, and that just might happen here. This superstar is about to escape the cage. He reached the top, but can he reach the floor? That cage isn't going to hold him for much longer. He is literally inches away from escaping the cage. Straight into the wall of this unforgiving steel cage. The cage itself can be a weapon in this match, as we've just seen. Not only is that cage keeping them in the ring, it's also a deadly weapon. And that's exactly why you can't take a cage match lightly. This steel cage is as big a threat as any superstar. This is exactly what makes a steel cage match so dangerous. Oh my God, what an impact! Right off the cage wall. Oh my God, the viciousness, the brutality of this cage match is staggering. You're going to have a hard time escaping the cage if you keep getting smashed into it. Oh man, talk about giving your opponent another reason to want to get out of that cage. Right off the cage and back into the ring. This one's going to continue. Looks like his escape plan was a bit premature. That's the price you pay for not making sure your opponent is down. His opponent got a little cocky there, and he paid the price. No escape that time. The match continues. He pulled his opponent down and denied his escape from the cage. Hey, what are you thinking? That's no way to escape the cage. His opponent was looking for a quick escape, but he had other ideas. He just forced his opponent back into this match with authority. He wasn't about to let him escape the cage that easily. Oh my God! Straight through the roof of the cell! The roof gave way! I can't believe anyone could have survived that! No, the roof of the cell, it just gave way! Did you see that? These superstars just destroyed that solid steel cell roof! Through the roof of the cell! Please tell me this one's over! Oh my God! He just sent his opponent through the roof of the cell! He just dropped his opponent through the cell roof! Someone should stop this match! Oh man, it's a long way from the roof of the cell to the ring. The human body was never meant to endure a fall like that. There goes the cell. These superstars will stop at nothing in this Hell in a Cell match. No, not off the roof of the cell. Oh my God, did you just see that? He just threw his opponent off the cell. No, it can't be. Not from the top of the cell. Oh my God! He just threw his opponent right off the cell! He just threw his opponent right off the cell! Oh my God! Thrown from the top of the cell! Stop the match! Stop the damn match! That was a 30-foot fall! That's it! Stop the damn match! There's no way anyone could continue after that! I don't believe it! He just hurled his opponent off the roof of the cell! Oh my God! After a fall like that, I hope this match is over. And there goes a superstar. And there's an elimination. I think yes, it's an elimination. That's one less superstar to deal with. There he goes, tossed out of the ring and out of this match. There he goes. This one's over for him. He just eliminated him with authority. He just didn't have enough left to hang on. And this match is over for that superstar. He's out of the match and on his way to the locker room. Another superstar has entered the match. Here comes another superstar. Another superstar is about to join the match. Here's the moment he's been waiting for. He's in the match. Here he comes. What's this going to do to the match? He's been waiting for his chance to enter, and here it is. A fresh superstar has just entered the match. A huge advantage for the newcomer. And we've got another superstar entering the match. Here comes another competitor. Time to add another superstar to the mix. Into the casket you go. That superstar is dangerously close to being buried alive. He's got his opponent in the casket. This could be over right here. My God, he might bury his opponent alive right here. We've got a superstar in a casket in a match that could be over very quickly. He's got his opponent in the casket. This match and a career could end right here. He's put his opponent in the casket. Could this be it? That's not going to improve your odds of surviving this match. He's got his opponent in the casket, and the match almost won. He's got his opponent in the casket. Victory may be seconds away. Tombstone, pile driver. How many superstars have fallen victim to that over the years? It looks like he's decided to finish off his opponent. And it looks like it's the last ride. He's had enough. This could be it. Here it comes. The FU! He just drove his opponent straight into the ground. I think these fans know what's coming next. He sure is. The STFU is locked in. He's got his opponent on the ground. Could this be it? And there it is. The scissors kick. Look out. He's measuring his opponent. The bookend. The bookend. And that's why. 619. He's got his opponent on the ropes. There he goes. There it is. A huge 619. He's building up a head of steam. It does indeed. And there it is. The frog splash. What an incredible power bomb. He may have just broken his opponent in half. I think he may be looking to put his opponent away here. Clothesline from hell. He just about decapitated his opponent. Here he comes. Modified swinging neckbreaker. And there it is, the backcracker. What an incredible move. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. He sure is. And there it is. And there it is. Here it comes, diving leg drop. He smells blood in the water. He's going in for the kill. He's looking to finish this off right here. Tremendous DDT from this lovely diva. She's looking for her finisher. This could do it. DDT. Her fans are on their feet. And there it is. The pedigree. Oh my God. Here it comes. Pedigree. Pedigree. That's gotta be it. Uh-oh. Looks like he's got something big planned. And he got it. RKO. Look at him go. RKO. RKO. He's looking for his finisher. Batista bomb. My God, I think he might have knocked his opponent out cold with that one. Looks like he's taking his opponent for a ride. Oh my God, what a Batista bomb. This capacity crowd is on its feet. It knows what's coming. Oh my God, what a choke slam all the way from hell. Look at this. He's lifting his opponent by the throat. And neither does his opponent. Choke slam from hell. He's going for the throat. We've seen this before. And there he goes. Sweet chin music. I think he's got a song he wants to play for his opponent. His opponent is out of it. He's tuning up the band. He got it. Execution. His opponent is groggy, and he's making the most of it. And he got all of it. Textbook execution. I think he's through playing around. And they don't get much bigger than this. Dominator. What's he going for here? Wow, what a dominator that was. He's setting up his opponent for the kill. The figure four. The figure four. Expertly applied. This capacity crowd knows what he's about to do. And we're about to see why. Figure 4 locked in. He's zeroed in on the leg of his opponent. Wow! The power of the punch connects! What a shot! He's looking for the knockout! The STF! He's got the STF locked in! It looks like he's going to tie up his opponent in knots! Too late! He connected with the Shining Wizard! He's measuring his opponent. What a face buster! And I think she got all of it! She's going for it! We sure do! Face first, right into the ground! What a face buster! We've seen this before. The Gory Bomb! He just scored in a big way with that Gory Bomb! He's looking to put his opponent away right here! Wow! What a huge frog splash! It looks like he's got something big in mind! And there it is, the Mick Kick! She's measuring her opponent. He calls it the Master Lock! And no one in sports entertainment today does it better! I think he might finish off his opponent right here! He's applied the Master Lock, and now he's cinching it up! He might be looking to shut his opponent down right here! An upside-down head scissors. What a tremendous display of athleticism. And there it is. Upside-down head scissors connects. I certainly am. It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. The People's Elbow. He's got his opponent. Could this be? Rock bottom. What an impact. Stunner. Stunner. Look out. Here it comes. Oh, my God. Look at this. I sure do. The Stone Cold Stunner, delivered with lethal precision. He sees his chance. He's going for it. His opponent is out of it. I certainly do. He's expertly applied the double arm suplex, and this could be the beginning of the end for his opponent.
You're absolutely right. He put his body on the line for that one, and it paid off.
No, don't tell me he's actually going to do it. No, you gotta be kidding me. He can't possibly. But it didn't. His leap of faith paid off, and I've got to think that this match is his to win right now.
Here comes his signature maneuver, and you've got to believe that the playmaker might have done just that. I think she's going for her signature move, and that's why she calls it the Starstruck. What a move! Is this what I think it is? And that Starstruck is as lethal as it is exciting to watch. She's looking to finish off her opponent here. And what a backbreaker. A deadly signature move to be sure. She's stalking her opponent.
The Samoan Spike. And that move can crush your windpipe and leave you completely incapacitated.
And she might have knocked the wind out of her opponent with that one.
Oh my God, this could be it. I sure do, partner. The Celtic Cross. And that could be all she wrote. He's been looking for this move all night. And here it is. The Celtic Cross, that signature move that has meant the end of many a superstar. And here it is, the Celtic Cross.
These fans know what he's got planned. We know where this is going. I think we know what he's got in mind here. I think he's going for his finisher. If there was before, there isn't now. What a twist of fate. And that signature neckbreaker might have turned his opponent's lights out. Oh my, look at this. Look at this. The people are on their feet. They know what's coming next. We certainly do. The sleeper hold is locked in. You don't see a lot of superstars break this hold. A triple jump moonsault. I don't think you'll ever see another superstar execute a maneuver like that one. I think we know what he's going for here. And there it is, the White Russian leg sweep. The White Russian leg sweep connects, and his opponent is in serious trouble now. And here she goes with a DDT. And I think that DDT did the trick. Wow, did you see that? Here he goes, the Swanton Bomb. With your charming personality, I'm sure you felt one or two of those in your day, partner. That Swanton Bomb would seem to remove any doubt. Very few have ever recovered from that. Look at this. He's going for it. We certainly have. Whisper in the Wind connects, and the momentum is all with him right now. Here he goes with his signature move. He sure is a huge Samoan drop. Oh boy, he's taking his opponent for a ride. A huge Samoan drop, and that could be the beginning of the end. Look at this. And that's a devastating move that might prove to be the beginning of the end. This is his chance. He's going for it. He's stalking his opponent. Here it comes. He's got the Anaconda Vice locked in, and there may be no escape. Here he goes with the Shining Wizard. You sure don't. The Shining Wizard is as rare as it is deadly. And here comes his patented signature move. Not as much as his opponent, I bet. That Arabian facebuster can do a number on a superstar. This is going to be big. What's he up to now? I think we know what he's going for here. The world's strongest slam. Talk about power. It sure isn't. The world's strongest slam connects. Look at this power. He's lifted his opponent right off the mat by the throat. Oh no, here comes that giant chop of his. We sure do. That giant chop of his has destroyed many a superstar. And a move like that will take the fight out of any superstar in a hurry. It looks like he's going for that guillotine leg drop. Oh my, he's going for the guillotine leg drop. And that's a move that'll just about behead any opponent. I sure do. The guillotine leg drop. That could be the difference maker in this match. He's built up a head of steam. Look out, here he comes. And we've seen the pounce knock many a superstar out of their boots. And he absolutely flattened his opponent with the pounce. I don't like the look in his eye here, folks. And there it is. The big boot connects. The big boot connects, and he might have knocked his opponent out cold. You're not kidding. What a pump handle slam. He's in the driver's seat now. He's got his opponent in a very vulnerable position. Yeah, head first, straight into the ground. What a DDT. He's going for the Dreamer driver, and I think he got all of it. Look at this momentum. I think he's going for that Russian leg sweep. Did you see that? What an impact. The Elijah Express, and that's a ride nobody wants to take. The fans are on their feet. They know what's coming next. He's hooking the arms. Could it be? And he got it. Double arm DDT, straight into the ground, head first. Okay, I won't, but that mandible claw is locked in. What an excruciating maneuver. He's got the legs, and you know what's coming next. This could end the match right here. What a pile driver. That may have knocked his opponent out cold. And he's got it. The sharpshooter is locked in. And here it comes, the Rude Awakening. Oh boy, this might be the difference maker in this match. And despite the name, that's a move that knocks most superstars out cold. And count yourself lucky if that move doesn't take your head clean off. Oh no, you don't want to let this man get a hold of your leg like that. I think he's going for that big Texas pile driver. They say that everything's bigger in Texas, and that pile driver proves it. He sure isn't, and that patented spinning toe hold of his might be the beginning of the end. Wait a second, what's this? And a vicious blow to his opponent's nether regions. He went south of the border with that one, but that could be all she wrote. Actually, I can think of one who might, but that's a devastating maneuver to be certain.
And there's the pin! And here's the cover! He's going for the pin! He could pin his opponent right here! He's got him covered! He's going for the pin! This could be it! There's the pin! Can his opponent kick out? He may get the 3 count right here! He wasted no time going for that pin! There's the cover! Can he do it? That was a decisive victory for him. The future's looking bright for that man right there. And not just to your opponent, but to the entire locker room as well. I'm with you, partner, and I think these fans are too.
I don't think there's any question in anyone's mind who won that match.
And that may be it for the match, but I hope it's not the last time we see these superstars in the ring together. It looks like there just wasn't enough left in the tank to kick out of the pin.
I don't know if it's a matter of not having what it takes. Sometimes it's just not your night.
That was a hard-fought battle, but in the end, only one superstar could pick up the win.
I can't argue with that. The referee counted the pin and called for the bell. You can't ask for a more decisive victory than that. Neither would I, but the referee counted the pinfall, and that's that.
What a match! And I don't think that pinfall left any doubt in anyone's mind who the better superstar was tonight.
That might be easier said than done. It's hard not to feel good about yourself after a win like that.
Well, that's what happens when you pick apart your opponent and lock in that submission, partner. I don't think the end of that match left any doubt in anyone's mind who dominated who. And it's a seriously powerful superstar who can make an opponent do just that. And it all came down to that expertly applied submission. That took all the fight out of his opponent. An incredible victory by submission. What an amazing end to an amazing match. Well, it certainly removes any doubt about who the superior superstar is, that's for sure. I've got no doubt about that, Taz. That submission hold didn't look very comfortable at all. You don't get much more impressive than that. A victory by submission. I can't blame anyone for not wanting to continue once they find themselves in that hold. He sure did. A victory by submission is nothing to sneeze at. That's a tough way to lose a match, having to tap out to a submission hold like that.
I understand why it has to be done, but I don't imagine that makes it any easier. Can you believe it? A victory by submission. Talk about impressive.
I think these fans and his fellow superstars have to see him in a different light after that. Well, it looks that way, partner. What else could the referee do? Rules are rules. And I guess that's it. The referee's decision is final. The match ends in a countout. It doesn't look that way, partner. I think that's all she wrote.
It's been a while, but that is a legitimate way to beat your opponent.
What a battle! And there's no doubt in anyone's mind who won that one. It sure is. If you want to see a physically dominating superstar, look no further. You're not kidding, partner. I can't remember the last time I've seen that much brutality in a match. It certainly doesn't leave any room for argument about who the dominant superstar was in this match.
I think that's a trademark of the other cowboy hat-wearing commentator, partner.
What a match! These superstars brutalized each other until one of them was unable to stand.
No argument there. If your opponent can't continue the match, it's pretty obvious who won.
It sure looks that way, partner, and I'm not any happier about it than you are. I hate to see this match end like this. I was really looking forward to it.
Well, unless we get a rematch, I guess we'll never know the answer to that one. What choice does the referee have? Rules are rules.
Not even a 2 count. That was nowhere near a 3 count. No trouble getting out of that one. He hasn't done nearly enough to get the pin yet. He's got to do more damage before he can get a 3 count. Wow, they don't get much closer than that. Kicked out just in the nick of time. Is that it? No, only a 2 count. The referee's hand was coming down for a 3 count. Wow, I thought he had the pin for sure. Oh no, the referee is down. What's going to happen now? Look out, the referee's been knocked out. And that also means that there's no one to call a pinfall or submission.
Oh boy, I think the referee is out of it. Unfortunately, you're right. There's no one to enforce the rules until the ref revives.
There's a lot of things under the ring, and all of them hurt. You can find all sorts of weapons under that ring. Why do they keep so many dangerous weapons under the ring? Those things can cause serious injuries. Looks like he's decided to grab a weapon from under the ring. Oh no, he's looking for a weapon. This could cause a serious injury. Oh man, I don't think that was ever meant to be used like that. Oh my, that's going to do some serious damage if someone doesn't stop this. What an impact. That's going to do some damage. Oh my God, someone's got to stop this. Oh man, what an impact. You're not going to last long if you keep getting hit by that. He's putting that weapon to good use here. This could result in a serious injury if no one stops this. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I can't say I am. Well, I guess that depends on which end of the object you're on. Oh my God, what a chair shot. If that's your idea of good old days, I'm glad I wasn't around for them. I don't think that chair is going to be good for much after this match. He's just brutalizing his opponent with that table. He might break the table in half on his opponent. My God, how is a human body supposed to withstand that kind of impact? Oh my God, did you hear the impact of those steel steps? I believe it, partner. The sound of the impact alone is painful enough. Oh no, not the steel steps! Wow, what a shot from that crutch! And I think it's obvious that he'll stop at nothing to win here tonight. Did you see that? A brutal shot from that crutch. Look at this. He's caning the hell out of his opponent. I can't even imagine how that could be possible. And a vicious shot from that cane. Wow, what an impact from that trash can. Or maybe it's more accurate to say that the trash is taking out somebody. And a vicious shot from the trash can. He let his opponent have it with that fire extinguisher. He may have extinguished his opponent's chances for victory with that one. That fire extinguisher could be the difference maker here tonight. What a sickening impact of that speaker against a human body. They sure aren't, and that speaker might prove to be the difference maker in this match. He might have crushed his opponent with that speaker. Oh my God, what a sickening impact from that sledgehammer. And I can't imagine how anyone could come back from something like that. He's swinging for the fences with that sledgehammer. And there's the submission hold. What a deadly maneuver this is. Oh my, the submission hold is locked in. What a deadly submission hold this is. We might see a tap out right here. And here we go with the submission hold. This could be a pivotal moment in this match. Submission hold locked in. We may see a tap out right here. He knows his opponent is completely helpless to resist the submission hold. Oh my, there's the submission hold. He's in the driver's seat now. Neither have I, partner, and this might be enough to get the tap out right here. I can imagine. Just look at the pressure being applied here. You and me both, partner, and we might be about to see another one right here. And he might get it. He's got that hold locked in. And this could prove to be a decisive moment in this match. I can't even imagine the amount of pain that this hold must inflict on any superstar who winds up in it.
What a submission maneuver. You must be familiar with this one. I see that. I wouldn't be surprised if he got his opponent to tap out right here.
Oh, now, would you look at that? What an underhanded move. Ah, come on. How about a little sportsmanship, for God's sake? Did you see that? What a desperate maneuver. Come on, ref, ring the damn bell. You can't let him get away with that. I can't believe he just did that. That's so dirty. I was afraid it was only a matter of time before he did something like that. Well, I personally was looking forward to a clean, competitive matchup.
I don't know, but if the referee doesn't see it, it doesn't count.
It certainly does look like he's going to take every advantage he can in this matchup. And there certainly isn't a lot of love being shown in that ring tonight. Come on, ref. That should have been a disqualification right there. I knew it was only a matter of time before we saw that. I don't like it, but as long as it wins matches, it's going to keep happening. Look at these fans. They didn't like that one bit. What a cowardly move. He can't win fair and square, so he tries to screw his opponent out of the victory. We've seen this before. He'll do whatever it takes to win and take every advantage he can. I just think it's unfortunate whenever a superstar decides to cheat to win rather than compete fairly. I don't believe it. How could the referee have missed that? He certainly is, and I hope he's proud of himself. Personally, I find it disgusting. It should. These fans are the lifeblood of WWE, and he doesn't give a damn what they think.
Taking advantage is a rather generous way to put it. He's cheating, plain and simple.
Look at that. That's going to go over big with the fans and build some momentum at the same time. The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see. This superstar is all fired up, and so is this capacity crowd. He's got this crowd solidly behind him, and now he's going to give them exactly what they want to see. I disagree. He's wrestled this match his way all along, and now we see it paying off.
Here it is. He's building up a head of steam, and he's about to let his opponent have it. Nothing wrong with keeping the paying customers happy while you build some momentum. We've seen this before. He's been wrestling his style of match, and he's coming up on a big payoff. Come on, you're looking at a superstar who can feed off a crowd and use that energy to win the match. There's no doubt that these fans love him, and he's feeding off that energy right now.
I don't think this will work, but you can't question this superstar's heart. This is going to require more strength than that. I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself if he keeps this up. Well, give him an A for effort. He simply doesn't have enough strength to get him off the ground. The size difference between them is just too much. He probably should have thought that through a little better. And that certainly wouldn't do him any favors in this match.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right. Come on, how about a little credit for the attempt?
And there's the reversal. What a reversal. What a counter that was. He saw that one coming. Nice reversal. A textbook reversal. Can he follow up? Great reversal. That reversal might stop his opponent's momentum dead. He was one step ahead on that one. He anticipated that move perfectly. Looks like somebody would rather play possum than fight. He got away with it that time, but he can't fake his way to victory here tonight. I tell you, I've got no patience for a superstar who pulls that kind of thing. Quit playing possum and wrestle. I want to know when he's going to start fighting like a man and stop playing possum. Well, I guess you got to give him credit. He really suckered his opponent with that one. A physical match like this will take its toll, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. There are limits to the amount of punishment that a human body can absorb. And if you want proof of that, just take a look at these superstars. The WWE superstars are all superb athletes, but they're also human beings, and there's only so much punishment a human body can take. How much more abuse can a human being take? If this match doesn't end soon, I think we might have a serious injury on our hands. We're definitely seeing the toll this very physical matchup has taken on the participants. I've got to believe this one won't last much longer. These superstars have inflicted so much damage on each other that I'm getting exhausted just watching them. You won't find better athletes than the WWE superstars, but they've got their limits. Limits which may have been reached here tonight.
I don't know how much longer this can go on. These superstars are starting to look like they're running on fumes. This can't go on much longer. Look at the physical condition of these superstars. Look at these superstars. This can't go on much longer.
Look at this. No fear on the face of this superstar. Talk about adding insult to injury. And these fans love it. He's taking a little time to give his opponent a piece of his mind. Look at him. He's just radiating confidence. And he's got a lot to be confident about. And here's a little something for the fans. That's why they love him. What are you talking about? I see a dominant superstar who's rallying this capacity crowd behind him. He is getting down to business. He's in the sports entertainment business, isn't he?
I disagree. Getting the crowd on your side can be a huge psychological boost. Actually, I think it's a great display of confidence on the part of this great superstar. I think you're wrong about that. I think this is going to make his victory tonight that much sweeter.
Or you can just keep posturing and give your opponent time to recover. Yes, but this might not be the smartest course of action. This match is far from over. He'd better watch out, though. His cockiness could backfire in a major way. Well, this is a good way to find yourself in a bad situation. He's wasting time instead of following up here. Well, he should be. Until that bell rings, this is still anyone's match. What a jerk. How about a little less posing and a little more action? Oh, would you look at this? Talk about arrogant. It's sickening. I don't think he's going to win any fans over with that. Why doesn't he put his money where his mouth is and continue with the match? He's showing absolutely no respect for his opponent. Looks like he's bringing in his partner. Did they get the tag? Yes. I think that's a tag. He's tagging in his partner. Looks like the tag has been made. That was a smart tag. The referee saw the tag. The tag is made. That tag shows some impressive teamwork. They got the tag. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other. And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent. Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get. I hope this isn't the last time we see these superstars face off. I don't know how nice it is, but there are certainly some issues between these superstars, and I think this match might only exasperate them. I said exasperate. Never mind. We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this. That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time. And that's a potentially dangerous mindset to be in. If you're too proud to realize that you're in trouble, you might wind up risking your career for a single match. I don't have to have been in a match to realize that jeopardizing my future for the sake of one match is incredibly short-sighted. Watching these superstars go at it reminds me why I prefer to stay on this side of the announce table. Oh no, I've heard stories about the way you train people. You make Marine drill instructors look like pushovers. Well, thanks but no thanks, partner. I think I'll stick to announcing for now. They sure have. And that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes into play. You can say that again. I've seen matches won and lost simply because one superstar was able to outlast their opponent. Oh, really? Are you willing to go out on a limb and actually make a guess then? Wow, if I knew it was that easy, I would have said that years ago. And that's a real shame because, like you said, this has been a great match so far. I never said that. I'm just saying that in a great match like this, everyone involved deserves credit for it. There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did. And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight. Yes, but that's the case if you lose as well, and having to deal with emotional as well as physical pain is that much worse. Well, I've been in the locker room after a match and seen the superstars who don't get their hands raised. You can literally feel the disappointment radiating off them. It's not a pretty sight. No question. If you want to make it in the WWE, you've got to sacrifice just about everything for your career. It has to be as important to you as anything else in your life. And that's something you won't see anywhere else. With all due respect to every athlete and entertainer out there, no one gives as much of themselves to their fans as the WWE superstars. So have I. It's certainly been one of the most anticipated matchups in recent weeks. They sure aren't, and that's an impressive thing in and of itself. I'm with you, partner. You just can't experience a thrill like this anywhere else. You certainly aren't. They're the greatest athletes in the world, and this is the only place you'll see them doing what they do best. I think we might be looking at the future of the WWE in this ring tonight. And that's what really matters. If the WWE fans aren't happy, they'll let you know it. I certainly don't envy the referee in this match. And that's about the last place you want to be if you're not a superstar yourself. Trust me, I know. I don't think anyone in this match has even considered that they might not walk out the winner. And that's something I don't think people realize. The mental conditioning of the WWE superstars is just as impressive as the physical conditioning. Absolutely not. These are trained WWE superstars, and even they wind up seriously injured sometimes. And that's the attitude you have to take to win. You know that your opponent isn't going to hold anything back, and you can't afford to either. I'm with you, partner, but it's got to end sooner or later. Really? As soon as I heard about it, I expected a tremendous matchup, and I haven't been disappointed. Night after night, the WWE superstars never fail to amaze the fans. Well, we wouldn't be sitting here calling this match, that's for sure. These superstars are so unpredictable. I'm having a hard time figuring out what they're going to do next. And what a wild ride it's been so far, with no signs of stopping anytime soon. Really? Maybe I should look into that. I could get a better broadcast partner and save the company some money at the same time. That's for sure. This match might have been over by now if they hadn't. I can't help but agree, partner. You won't see action like this on Raw. This capacity crowd is certainly getting its money's worth here tonight. Well, I don't think we'll have to worry about selling tickets the next time we come back here, not after a match like this. These superstars have proven time and again that they're willing and able to go the distance. That's for sure, partner. There's always someone right behind you, ready to overtake you if you can't keep up. There certainly isn't. They're in this one to the bitter end. I know what you mean, partner. These superstars have really brought the fans to life here tonight. And to dish some out as well, I don't think I've ever seen a superstar win a match by being a tackling dummy. They sure are, and I don't think they're going to be put out anytime soon. We were expecting a solid match from these superstars, but this is even better than I'd hoped. I don't think anyone would last too long against them. These are trained WWE professionals. Yeah, and not a health clinic. I don't think they'll be the same after this one. They certainly don't look like they're going to give anything less than 100% here tonight. No way. I've seen you embarrass yourself with enough bad guesses that I'm not going to risk doing the same. No, but one or two big moves at a crucial point could change the direction of it completely. No, you don't. And I think we'll see one superstar dominate the match before it's over. And considering the conditioning of these athletes, that could be quite a while from now. And that's what makes the WWE so exciting. The unpredictability of the superstars. You never quite know exactly what you're going to see. And if these superstars have their way, there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight. It sure could. It's not over until the referee calls for the bell. You can say that again. Talk about hazardous to your health. That makes two of us, partner. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so exciting. Anything can happen in WWE. An entire match can turn on one or two big moves.
Is it so wrong to ask a superstar to play by the rules? That doesn't seem to be so unreasonable to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing an incredible display of athletic ability here tonight.
True enough, there's no off season for them. There's no month or two off between matches. And they do it all for the WWE fans. Without them, none of us would even be here.
I think that if one of these superstars successfully executes their finishing move, this one is over.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
I think you're developing a selective memory in your old age, partner.
Thanks a lot. You know, you're not always my number one choice for a broadcast partner either. Really funny. You know, that would almost be worth not having to work with a joker like you all the time. It sure is. What do you think the highlight of it has been so far?
Well, excuse me for doing my job, partner. Sorry to have disturbed you.
I don't think you need in-ring experience to feel the tenacity radiating off of these superstars. I'll have to take your word for it. I honestly can't imagine a more electric atmosphere than the one in this arena right now.
Then I'm glad to see it. A WWE match isn't just about competition, it's also about entertaining the fans.
You might be right. I think it would be extremely entertaining to listen to you try to call a match all by yourself. I never claim to be completely objective. I respect superstars who show some sportsmanship in the ring. You're talking about two different things. Self-defense is one thing, but cheating to steal a victory is something completely different. You sure don't, and we've got the best seats in the house.
Whoa, that's your territory, partner, not mine. I'm perfectly happy staying right where I am.
They sure are. We're seeing some great intensity here tonight. These superstars are well aware of that, and that's exactly what they've got in mind. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if they've ever had anything this good on Raw.
And that's one of the few things we completely agree on, partner. It doesn't get any bigger or better than Smackdown.
I couldn't agree more. Raw has some incredible superstars, no question about it, but they just can't compete with SmackDown's finest. I'm 100% serious. Can you imagine having Triple H or Edge or John Cena here? That could take SmackDown to the next level. I really can't. This isn't anything like what I expected from these competitors.
And I think it's that unpredictability that makes these superstars so exciting to watch. I know exactly what you mean. These superstars certainly are pulling out all the stops.
And patience can certainly be a virtue in a match like this.
And whether or not you have that kind of patience often means the difference between winning and losing a match. These superstars are clearly giving it their all tonight.
I don't think I ever have. If they did, they wouldn't last long around here. Well, it's not ballet, you know. It has indeed. But I think this crowd is waiting to see one or two really big moves.
Victory means absolutely everything to these competitors tonight.
How about you should spend more time calling the match and less time cutting down your broadcast partner? Actually, from my perspective, I think it could still go either way.
These superstars certainly aren't going easy on each other tonight. They sure are giving the fans their money's worth.
And the WWE fans sell out these arenas night after night. Sounds like they appreciate it to me. You might be right. It doesn't look like these superstars are going to go easy on each other. And there's a reason for that. There are no off seasons in WWE. These superstars perform every week of the year.
Folks will be staying with this match to the end with no commercial interruptions.
You're probably right. I know I wouldn't want to miss a second of this action. I don't know, but you can bet that it's going to get a lot worse before it's over. You're absolutely right. The greatest athletes in the world competing on the grandest stage of them all. Your guess is as good as mine. They're certainly not going easy on each other, that's for sure. I wouldn't be so sure. If there's one thing we've seen, it's that anything can happen here in WWE. I think just about every match has that potential. This is WWE after all. It's what they came to see, and these superstars are making sure they don't go home disappointed. You'll get no argument from me, partner. SmackDown is the dominant brand in all of sports entertainment. What did you expect? They're from Smackdown after all. You might be right. They are so focused on victory that they don't care what they have to do to get it. I don't doubt it. The WWE superstars don't get any offseason. They compete every week until they're not physically capable of continuing. They've sacrificed so much to get here, I don't think they could allow that thought to enter their heads. That's for sure. And the WWE superstars are some of the best conditioned athletes in the world. You might be right. After all, they spent the better part of the match beating the heck out of each other. It's hard not to take something like that personally. Judging from how this match has gone so far, I have no trouble believing that whatsoever. Or we might just be heading into the calm before the storm. If they don't yet, I'm sure they will by the end of the match. No question about that. You won't last long against an opponent you haven't done your homework on. Come on, I think we both know the answer to that one. Well, it wouldn't break my heart if they went for an hour. I'm really enjoying this match. That's for sure, and the number one rule here on SmackDown is to send the WWE fans home happy.
Matt Hardy says that he will not die, and we're seeing that determination here tonight in this match. You're kidding, right? It seems to me like those are Lashley's two biggest advantages. They've certainly served him well so far in his career. You're kidding, right? It seems to me like those are Lashley's two biggest advantages. They've certainly served him well so far in his career. Sure, But what about his speed? It's rare to see a superstar with the combination of strength and quickness that Lashley possesses. Bobby Lashley is about as impressive a specimen as there is in WWE. He's got his share of detractors, but I don't think there's any denying that Rowdy Roddy Piper is one of the true greats of sports entertainment. Yeah, or someone he screwed over by cheating. You might almost say that having someone like Piper to compete against helped make some of those popular superstars into bona fide legends. He's been a fan favorite and a rule breaker in his time, but the one thing that Rowdy Roddy Piper has never been is ignored. And that's what this business is all about. Winning the match isn't enough. You've got to personally involve the fans in the outcome, and Roddy Piper is a master of that. Roddy Piper is so unpredictable, and that's what makes him such a dangerous competitor. Shane McMahon has fought on the side of the Angels and the Devils, but whether you love him or hate him, you have to respect him. And Shane doesn't do anything halfway either. He takes risks that most superstars wouldn't even attempt. He's put his body on the line time and time again, and that's something the fans have come to expect from him. Shane McMahon might not be a full-time superstar, but every time he steps into the ring, he makes an impact. He certainly doesn't. We've seen him risk life and limb time and again. Will we see it again here tonight?
How can you say that? The dead man has proven himself time and time again.
I can't believe you could sit here and even imply that The Undertaker might be a has-been. That could be hazardous to your health. I don't think there's a superstar in the history of WWE who's gone from rookie to WWE champion as quickly as John Cena has. Well, from where I sit, I haven't seen a lot of superstars give Cena much of a problem. He's held his own against some of the most talented veterans on the roster.
If that's the case, then he's had a lot of fluke victories since then. I don't think anyone gets as far as Cena has on luck alone.
You talk about raw power. You talk about intensity. Have you ever seen a superstar like Batista?
Well, you got to be pretty big and pretty bad to wear championship gold, and that's what Batista's done time after time. If I was a gambling man, I'd take that bet. I don't mind admitting that I'm in awe of Batista, and I know I'm not the only one. Rey Mysterio is so fast, so agile, and so talented, and he's proven that he's championship material. It was longer than that. And if I recall correctly, he successfully defended the championship against you.
When you talk about a man who's done it all in this business, you don't have to look any further than the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
You're not seriously suggesting that HBK couldn't be competitive on SmackDown. No disrespect to the SmackDown superstars, but this is Shawn Michaels we're talking about. But you're not taking into account the power and experience of the dead man. You can't forget about that.
I don't think there's ever been a more dominant superstar in WWE than the legendary dead man, The Undertaker.
That might be true, but I don't see anyone on the horizon who could dethrone the Phenom. Cena's a multiple-time WWE champion. How much more improvement do you really need?
It's been a long time since I saw a crowd get behind a superstar the way they have for John Cena.
I don't think Cena's got any problem being physical either. There aren't many superstars who can match his accomplishments. Rey Mysterio never fails to impress me. Every time he enters the ring, he finds another way to defy the laws of physics. I think Mysterio can be competitive at any level against any opponent. If anyone would know that, it's you. Eddie knows that there's more to this business than winning and losing. Few superstars are more loved than Eddie, and he'll remain in the hearts of these WWE fans forever.
These fans just can't get enough of Latino heat. Eddie Guerrero's got them in the palm of his hand.
How about his love for the business? How about a commitment to putting on the best show possible for his fans? Eddie has never taken them for granted. Batista was impressive as a member of Evolution, but it wasn't until he left them that he earned the first of several World Heavyweight Championship victories. If you're not intimidated at the sight of a heavily muscled 6.5-foot animal like Batista, you better have your head examined. I don't think Shawn Michaels is ever going to be a has-been. He looks as good today as he ever did, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Regardless of how you personally feel about Matt Hardy, you've got to respect his drive, his energy, and his passion for this business.
I hope you're not implying that Hardy doesn't have what it takes to get it done in the ring. Overrated? Hardy's a multiple-time tag team champion, a former cruiserweight champion.
I don't think there's a superstar on the roster with as much drive and determination as Matt Hardy, and these fans certainly react to that.
Well, excuse me, but I didn't hear a bell. This match is still going on, last I checked. I don't think you're ever going to see that from Matt Hardy. He's simply got too much passion and determination.
I can't think of the last time I saw a superstar with the speed and raw power of this man, Bobby Lashley.
He got some pretty good experience when he beat you for the United States Championship, didn't he?
These fans have certainly rallied around Bobby Lashley, and it's not hard to see why.
Lashley's made a name for himself doing exactly that, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. He's one of a kind, that's for sure, and I'm sure his opponents are glad of that. Shane is Mr. McMahon's heir. He doesn't need to take the risks that he does. Ric Flair certainly has earned the nickname the dirtiest player in the game, but you can't say he doesn't warn his opponents. What can I say? I guess I'm willing to make an exception for a legend with 16 World Championship victories to his credit. It's obvious that these fans think it's pretty cool that they get to see Carlito in action here tonight. Well, I know when you've got tens of thousands of fans cheering you on, that's cool. Well, if it hasn't happened so far, I have my doubts as to whether it ever will. Ah, come on, don't tell me you didn't borrow a trick or two from the dirtiest player in the game. It's like they say, if you have to ask, you'll never know. There's no doubt that Ashley is one of the most beautiful and talented divas on the roster. Aren't you already married, partner? I'm not sure about that, partner. She seems like she'd be quite a handful. Ashley certainly is a beautiful young woman. If I wasn't a happily married man, I'm not going to answer that, partner. My wife might be watching. And she's more than just a pretty face. Ashley's an incredible competitor as well. Ashley first came to the WWE as the winner of the Diva Search contest, and it's not hard to see why. You can search the world over and you won't find another superstar like the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. He might be unconventional, but there's no questioning the name he's made for himself. I don't know. I think the Jeff Hardy hairstyle is exactly what you might need to update your image a little. Sometimes it seems like there's no risk too great for Jeff Hardy to take. I doubt that. If he didn't know what he was doing, he'd never have lasted as long as he has in this business. I don't think anything happened to him. Jeff's just one of those people who marches to the beat of a different drummer. No matter where he goes, Jeff Hardy always enjoys enthusiastic fan support. You know, despite his reputation, I don't think Chad has ever been convicted of breaking any laws. That's just a name. You called yourself a wrestling god, but you aren't actually a god. Well, it's that kind of fan support that might enable him to steal a win here tonight. Chad certainly is a unique performer. He's not one to play by the rules, that's for sure. Hey, anyone who calls his tag team Crime Time isn't trying to hide anything. I respect his honesty about his dishonesty. Wow, I never thought I'd hear you join the politically correct thought police, partner. Chad certainly seems to enjoy the life he's made for himself here in WWE. JTG might have somewhat of a checkered past, but his skills as an in-ring performer are beyond compare. If you keep slandering JTG like that, you're the one who might need a lawyer, partner. Well, he wouldn't be the first superstar in WWE to lie, cheat, and steal his way to victory. So what exactly is your problem with JTG? I'm sorry, how exactly did you win the WWE Championship again? I've never heard him call himself a role model, partner. He prides himself on his athletic ability, and with good reason. I know you're not JTG's biggest fan, partner, and I honestly don't know why. My loyalty is to Smackdown, but I admit that I wish we could steal CM Punk to our roster. Come on, you're telling me that you don't recognize the athletic ability and potential of CM Punk? I don't know about that. It's hard to argue with tens of thousands of screaming WWE fans. I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever seen a superstar as exciting and dynamic as CM Punk. That might be your opinion, but I think the vast majority of these fans would disagree. I don't think that's his opinion at all. And if he does think that he's better than anyone else, I'm sure it's because of his confidence in his abilities, not his lifestyle choices. You've never been CM Punk's biggest fan, but I'm sure you can come up with one good thing to say about him. These fans expected an extreme performance from Sabu, and I don't think they'll leave disappointed. I think Sabu respects anyone who's willing and able to go the distance with him. What? You mean high-flying, risk-taking, high-impact competition? I'd never want to be in the ring with Sabu, but I have to admit it's exciting to watch him compete. If you feel that strongly about it, you're welcome to try, partner. Well, what did you expect? He comes from ECW, where the only rules are there are no rules. Sabu might be one of the most exciting and dangerous superstars on the ECW roster. Whether you like ECW or not, there's no question that the Sandman enjoys terrific support from this capacity crowd. Come on now. I know for a fact you're no stranger to knocking a few back every now and then either. Well, a lot of things that take place in this arena wouldn't be allowed outside of it. The Sandman is without a doubt one of the most admired superstars in ECW. I think there are a lot of ECW fans who take issue with that. Well, what can I say, partner? That's ECW for you. The Sandman is an ECW original and one of the biggest stars of the brand. Regardless of how you feel about ECW, it's a real treat to see a diva like Kelly Kelly in action. You might get your wish. She's an exhibitionist, you know. I don't know, partner. Some of us prefer women we can actually hold a conversation with. For the sake of our show tonight, I hope Kelly Kelly manages to restrain her exhibitionist tendencies. I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm just saying I'd like for us to not get kicked off the air. Fortunately for you, I don't think SAT scores were part of her ECW application. Kelly prides herself on being an exhibitionist, and she's certainly putting on quite an exhibition here tonight. Looking at Tori reminds me of something a friend of mine used to say. She's got legs all the way to her. Are you blushing? Look at you. You're blushing. Did you call her that because your face gets all red whenever you see her? These fans can't get enough of Tori Wilson, and neither can I. Wait a minute. You're looking at her smile? What the heck is wrong with you? Never mind. I think I know the answer to that one. I'm glad to see that those Spanish lessons are really paying off, compadre. Tori Wilson, of course, has appeared on the cover of Playboy magazine twice. I'm sure you picked up those issues. How could you not? He's the very heart and soul of ECW. And that's not something that's lost on these fans. Regardless of how you feel about ECW, it's almost impossible not to respect Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer isn't in this business for the money or the fame, partner. He's here because he loves what he does, and he loves our fans. Tommy Dreamer has shed years of blood, sweat, and tears, sacrificing his own body for the sake of ECW. How can you not? The passion and dedication of Tommy Dreamer are virtually unmatched in all of sports entertainment. It's hard not to respect Tommy Dreamer. He's never given less than 100%, whether he's competing in front of 50 fans or 50,000. How do you prepare for a match against Tommy Dreamer? You're absolutely right, and we're seeing why here tonight. And as you said so many times before, winning matches is really all that matters when it comes down to the final analysis. He built his legend by destroying some of the biggest names in the business, in WCW, in ECW, and of course here in WWE. You never know who you're getting into the ring with when you compete against Mick Foley. I'm sure a psychologist would have a field day analyzing him, but I'm not sure Mick would take too kindly to that. You're not the only one. Mick Foley is not an easy superstar to watch, but it's even harder to tear your eyes away from him. I've met Mick Foley outside the ring, and I've seen him in action inside the ring, and I swear it's almost like he's two different people. You're absolutely right. A 6-time WWE champion, 3-time Royal Rumble winner, Intercontinental champion, King of the Ring. Yeah, there aren't too many superstars who have managed to give the boss a stunner and keep their jobs. I have to admit, I'm a little shocked to hear you admit that Stone Cold was a better champion than you were. No matter how long Stone Cold Steve Austin is away from the squared circle, he's as popular as ever when he returns. That's a bold statement, partner, but I'll second it. Neither do I. Stone Cold isn't a man to let you off with a warning. It doesn't look like Stone Cold's transition to Hollywood has softened him up any. And that charisma not only took him to the very top of the sports entertainment world, it also allowed him to take Hollywood by storm. He certainly hasn't. And from the sound of things, they haven't forgotten him either. And if I'm doing the math correctly, that's 6 times more than you, right? I love seeing The Rock on the silver screen, but it's even better to see him in the squared circle. And considering that he's a third-generation superstar, that comes as no surprise. Yes, interviewing The Rock was always interesting. I'll just leave it at that. Seeing The Rock in action again makes you realize just how great he really is. And that's a hard point to argue. That's a pretty safe bet. I doubt we'll ever see another superstar in our lifetimes like the legendary Hitman. And these fans are getting a real treat watching the Hitman in action tonight. Bret Hart calls himself excellence of execution, and it's not hard to see why. And that's why Bret Hart is one of WWE's most respected Hall of Famers. I'll put it this way, partner. If Bret Hart doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, nobody does. You're sure you're not just putting a positive spin on an out-of-control ego? You might have a point there. It's hard to plan your next move when you're too angry to think clearly. Easy, easy. I'm guessing that's probably not a family-friendly antidote. I don't think there's another superstar who can get under the skin of the fans and his opponents like Ravishing Rick Rude. There's no arguing that point, not when you're talking about a former Intercontinental champion. You know, as a stand-up comedian, you make a great former WWE champion. I don't think Ravishing Rick Rude is making any new fans here tonight. Oh, I think they do. He's a living legend in this business. He certainly is. He's a true pioneer of sports entertainment, and it's a real treat to see him in the squared circle tonight. And that's not a place you want to be when you're dealing with a legend like Terry Funk. How do you even prepare to enter into a match against a legend like Terry Funk? And I'd imagine that that's much easier said than done. And that's what makes Terry Funk so dangerous. However far you're willing to go, he'll go further. Terry Funk is the man who practically invented the word hardcore. And I don't think there's ever been a more feared or brutal competitor than the Anvil. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, but I bet some of his opponents might disagree. In his day, the Anvil was one of the most feared superstars in the WWE, and that hasn't changed. During his legendary career, Jim Neidhart has often been on the wrong side of the WWE fans, but that never slowed him down. He certainly has, and it doesn't look like he's done yet. You might be right, but I'm sure many of them have studied his legendary career, and some of them might even be able to show him a thing or two. When you talk about the most ruthless, remorseless superstars of all time, Jim the Anvil Neidhart's name has got to be near the top of that list.
Wait a second. You're telling me that your entire opinion of the man is based on the fact that he beat you in a match years ago? But what about the cheating, the lying, the brutal and illegal assaults on fellow superstars? What about the fact that Triple H's lust for power has completely killed whatever conscience he had? That's funny, because that's exactly what I can't stand about Edge. He might be a great competitor, but he's a lousy human being. I'd rather watch a superstar who had some sense of sportsmanship, some sense of decency, yes. How can you applaud a man who doesn't care about anyone but himself? It's been said before, but that doesn't make it any less true. Kane is pure evil to the core. This monster doesn't care about anyone or anything. No, but there's more to being a WWE superstar than brutalizing your opponents. I don't think Kane knows that. Or if he does, he doesn't care. And that's doubly true if you're the referee. I don't think Edge has ever met a rule he wouldn't break. Edge is such a jerk. I'm amazed that he still has a job on Raw after some of the stuff he's pulled. That may be true, but I'm not a fan of the way he's been winning his matches lately. And I don't think these fans are either. Well, and there's the fact that he's a phenomenal superstar in his own right as well. Well, I don't know Art, but I know what I don't like. And I don't like Master's arrogance. He's got a lot more to accomplish before he's earned the right to be that high on himself, in my opinion. Yeah, and if you don't believe it, just ask him. He won't hesitate to tell you how great he is. He certainly isn't shy about sharing his opinions, that's for sure, but I, for one, could do without that enormous ego of his. There are a lot of superstars in the back who'd like to shut Ken Kennedy's mouth once and for all. Johnny Nitro struts around here like he's God's gift to sports entertainment, and I don't mind telling you that it makes me sick. Not to mention obnoxious, arrogant, and completely ethically bankrupt. If you ask me, I think every fan in this arena is just waiting for the day when Johnny Nitro gets what's coming to him. Yeah, and 5 of them require the referee to be looking the other way if he doesn't want to get disqualified. I think it's a shame the way Gregory Helms threw away all of his fan support when he decided to stop being the Hurricane. You certainly can't. Melina will use any underhanded trick in the book to pick up the win. It's a real shame that a diva as lovely and talented as Melina has to resort to some of the underhanded tactics that she often employs. Easy there, partner. I get the feeling that Mickie might be a little too much for you to handle. I don't know how they can allow Mickie James to compete. She's clearly unstable and a danger to everyone she gets in the ring against. Crazy is as crazy does, partner, and we've seen Mickie James pull some pretty crazy stunts around here. I've got to admit, I'm not one of Mickie James' biggest fans. She's a little too unstable for my taste. You gotta be kidding me. I don't think I've ever seen her win a match without cheating. Candice is not what you'd call a classically trained wrestler. Sometimes I wonder why she insists on competing in matches. I don't think I've ever seen a superstar make the kind of impact that Umaga has ever since coming to the WWE. 6'4" and 350 pounds. He truly lives up to his nickname, the Samoan Bulldozer. You're not wrong, partner. He made an impressive debut by utterly destroying the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and nobody's managed to stand in his way for long since then. This Umaga is a monster, plain and simple. I have no earthly idea why he's allowed to compete on Raw. I have no problem with that. As you said many times, this isn't ballet, but I don't think Umaga's here to compete. I think he's here to hurt people as badly as he can. You and me both, partner. We've heard that Umaga is one of a kind, and for the sake of the rest of the WWE superstars, let's hope that's true. There's so much we don't know about the vicious Samoan bulldozer known as Umaga. And you'd think that someone with all the tools that Finlay has at his disposal wouldn't need to step outside the rules as often as he does. But we've seen time and time again, he'll do whatever it takes to win. When you think of how many years Finlay has been in this business, it's amazing that he can still compete at the level he does.
What, you mean like turning on the people who have supported him and stabbing them in the back? I'd have more respect for those achievements if Orton didn't earn them with such underhanded tactics. I think these fans have had just about enough of King Booker. WCW was a long time ago, partner, and quite frankly, Booker's attitude was a lot better in those days.
Say what you will about William Regal. He never backs down from a fight.
And yet you show up week after week to do commentary. Well, he might want to acknowledge the paying customers who make it possible for him to earn a paycheck. You know, I liked Booker a lot better before he discovered his royal heritage. What's the point of being champion if you lose the respect of the WWE fans? Oh, wait, I think I'm asking the wrong person. Are we talking about the same Randy Orton? It seems like the only time he's willing to fight is when he gets to hit somebody from behind. And not to mention an ego that won't quit. A lot of the superstars around here would love to take him down a peg. Regal's a very methodical wrestler. He won't be rushed, and I don't see him as a tea and crumpets kind of guy. When you see yourself in a match like this, does it ever make you want to return to active competition? Well, it certainly wasn't your humility that got you there. And apparently they're not shy about sharing that information. I've reported from active war zones, but nothing compares to the ruthless inhumanity of the big red monster, Kane.
But the viciousness, the brutality, the complete lack of concern for the welfare of his fellow superstars, whether they're opponents or not, how can you support that? But there's healthy competition and unhealthy competition. Then there's downright dangerous competition. I don't think it's right to ask a superstar to take his life in his hands whenever he faces a monster like Kane.
Are you thinking about a return to the squared circle? What goes through your mind when you watch yourself in a match like this? You know, it's kind of funny how that phrase never really caught on with the WWE fans. You gotta be kidding me. Triple H is one of the most ruthless superstars of all time. He doesn't give a damn about anyone or anything.
I think the Smackdown locker room is extremely grateful that Triple H is not a part of it.
There's no question that Triple H has been a huge success, but he's stepped over a lot of bodies on his climb to the top. Or a more terrifying one for that matter, he's just pure, unstoppable rage. I don't think it's the Guerreros they have a problem with. I think it's Chavo himself. Boy, Mr. Kennedy certainly has a high opinion of himself. I'm not saying that there is, but there's a time for talk and there's a time for action.
Without a doubt, Ken Kennedy is one of the most outspoken superstars on the SmackDown roster.
Maybe not, but it's only a matter of time before Kennedy's mouth gets him into some trouble he can't get himself out of. Don't remind me. I'm afraid we'll have to put up with this obnoxious jerk for years to come.
I know that Johnny Nitro is an incredibly talented superstar, but it's almost impossible for me to get past that arrogant attitude of his.
I respect Nitro's potential, but he needs some more experience before he's entitled to an ego like that. Hold on, partner. Nitro's got talent, but he's also got a long way to go before he lives up to that kind of hype. Gregory Helms is the longest reigning champion in SmackDown history. You were the longest reigning WWE champion, but Helms held the Cruiserweight Championship longer than you. You're absolutely right. He's the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in history. Gregory Helms used to enjoy tremendous fan support once upon a time, but he drove his fans away when his attitude changed. I'd like to think that it's possible to do both. Obviously, Helms disagrees.
Melina is as devious as she is beautiful. She'll do whatever it takes to win.
Try and stay professional here. I'm trying to call a match. I don't know what you're doing.
You can't underestimate Melina. She's not just another pretty face. She's an incredibly accomplished female competitor.
If you keep this up, we're going to have to fit you for a crown and give you some hair plugs. I think all the blood is drained from your brain to another part of your anatomy. Boy, this Mickie James is 100% psychopath.
Well, if it's all an act, she deserves an Academy Award because she's got me completely convinced.
That's true. You're never sure what she's going to do, and half the time, I don't think she does either.
It's only a matter of time before Candice Michelle tries to cheat in this match, and when she gets caught, she'll try to pretend that she's completely innocent. We've seen it before.
Why do I get the feeling it won't be long before you're working the word puppies into your repertoire? Candice Michelle is a beautiful young woman, but I'm not sure she's cut out for a match like this.
I'm not saying she's not easy on the eyes, partner, but I question how capable she is of handling herself in active competition.
If you make one more comment like that, I'm fitting you for a crown and sending you to work on Monday night.
Finlay has certainly established himself in very short order as one of the toughest superstars SmackDown has ever seen.
English? He wears a shamrock. He carries a shillelagh to the ring, and he's got a pet leprechaun. Does that sound like English to you?
There's no questioning Finlay's toughness or that mean streak that runs straight through him. He can be downright sadistic to his opponents.
That's an understatement. Belfast makes parts unknown look like Disneyland. How can you say that when we have so many decorated veterans on the roster? Sounds like you bought into this hype. I'm still waiting for MVP to prove that he's as good as he says he is. We've heard MVP talk the talk. I'm just waiting for him to walk the walk. Well, he certainly played Raw and SmackDown against each other in a bidding war for his contract, and I'm afraid we got the worst end of the deal. Ah, please, he's so full of hot air, I'm surprised he isn't floating away. I think he'd have more respect for MVP if he'd stop talking about how great he is and start showing us. Candice has got her work cut out for her tonight. Can she pull it off? Was that supposed to be some kind of a double entendre? She's a good-looking woman, but it's going to take more than that to pick up the win here tonight. If Michelle's not careful, she could wind up in a pinning predicament. I've got no one to blame but myself. I walked right into that one. Congratulations. I think you just made Jerry Lawler look like a mature adult. Michelle may have bitten off more than she can chew here tonight. That's true. The world's strongest man is a terrifying individual, and he's capable of seriously injuring his opponents. No one's saying that it is, but Mark Henry takes everything to new heights of viciousness. It's downright scary is what it is. We've seen Mark Henry absolutely destroy his opponents, and I hope we're not going to see more of the same tonight. I'll never understand why Mark Henry resorts to such brutal tactics. He's already the world's strongest man. What has he got left to prove? Well, if you ask me, a victory is message enough, but Mark Henry seems to enjoy dishing out senseless brutality. You say that like it's a good thing. I wish Henry would focus more on winning matches and less on ending careers. I don't use the word evil lightly, but that's what comes to mind when I see the delight Mark Henry takes in destroying his fellow superstars. Actually, when I look at the masterpiece, I'm glad I don't have the out-of-control ego that he does. I can't argue with his results. It's his methods that I object to. The masterpiece is a piece of something all right, but I'm not sure art is the word I'd choose. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this arena who hopes to see the masterpiece learn a lesson in respect here tonight. Then maybe someone should hang him on a wall in a museum. Well, I don't know art, but I know what I don't like, and I don't like Master's arrogance. I don't want to take anything away from the masterpiece's accomplishments, but don't you find that his attitude leaves something to be desired? He sure is. I can't even begin to imagine where they found a monster like him. You and me both, partner. I'm a little nervous just sitting this close to him. Are you seriously admitting that the Great Khali intimidates you? How do you approach a match with someone like the Great Khali? And I can only imagine that that's a lot easier said than done. He must take up at least a quarter of the ring as it is. So do I. You get the feeling Khali isn't here just to win matches. He wants to end careers. Look at the fire in the eyes of the Great Khali. He's here to make an impact. He's a gifted young superstar, that's for sure, but I'd like to see a little more respect for the rules. I just think that he's got so much potential that he shouldn't need to fall back on cheating to advance his career. He's certainly got a tremendous upside, but he also has a tendency to bend the rules whenever he gets the chance. Kenny Dykstra's first WWE appearance was with the all-male cheerleading squad, the Spirit Squad. Not that that's a bad thing. Actually, the 10-to-1 female-to-male ratio was pretty tempting. I wouldn't doubt it. He's got decades of competition ahead of him, and he gets better with every match. Kenny might be one of the youngest superstars on the roster, but he's already held tag team gold. That's for sure. You don't see many superstars with the ability to physically dominate their opponents the way Marcus Corvan does. He's an incredibly well-rounded superstar, and that makes it hard for his opponents to find a weak point to exploit. He does indeed. The alpha male leaves a trail of broken bodies wherever he goes. When you're facing a superstar like Marcus Corvan, what should your strategy be? Good advice. Let's see if his opponent is able to follow it. And that speed, combined with his overpowering strength, has led to the downfall of many a superstar. Boy, how impressive is Marcus Corvan? I don't blame you. I'm more than a little scared myself. I don't know. I've never weighed myself soaking wet. We've seen that time and time again, and we're seeing that here tonight in this match. I don't know how WWE can allow a monster like Snitsky to compete. You might be right, but I have to wonder if the risk is worth the reward. That's what worries me. I'd hate to have a monster like Snitsky having his run of the place. Seeing Snitsky in action sends a chill all the way up my spine. I can't argue with that, although I don't think it's his most admirable quality. What's the second thing? You can say that again. He's made quite a name for himself so far in WWE. I sure did, and what a fighter he was. 103-1 with 102 knockouts. I don't think our fans are too crazy about Elijah Burke. I think they've simply had enough of Burke beating their favorite superstars through underhanded means. And it would have been 103, but after knocking his opponent out, he was disqualified for not going to a neutral corner. Very few superstars have the physical and mental gifts possessed by Elijah Burke. I've never questioned your ability. Your tactics maybe, but never your ability. I think you also set a record for most consecutive matches won by cheating. It's a miracle that we're even able to carry on without you at all. So when you see yourself in action like this, do you ever miss being an active competitor? And for you to have to give that up only underscores just how hard this business can be on a superstar's body. Yeah, and usually by cheating as soon as the referee's back was turned. I have to admit, partner, you're looking pretty good out there. What was going through your mind in this match? There's a lot to be jealous of. He's the billionaire chairman of the most powerful sports entertainment company in history. It's a short list, that's for sure. I hope the WWE chairman doesn't stop too suddenly, or your head might wind up stuck in a very uncomfortable place. He's as ruthless in the ring as he is in the boardroom. Mr. McMahon will do whatever it takes to win. No comment. Believe me, I have no desire to get on Mr. McMahon's bad side. Knowing the chairman, I'm sure he wouldn't object to having a billion self-portraits. Mr. McMahon's not the most technically gifted superstar we've ever seen, but he does possess a number of unique advantages. Tell me something. Do you really consider Montel Vontavious Porter to be SmackDown's MVP?
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight. And the crowd has come alive tonight with a chant directed at the superstars in the ring. You sure can't. They see everything, and they'll let you know about it. You're right about that. Without the fans, we'd all be out of a job. They sure are, and you know that's going to have an effect on this match.
We're hearing the First Amendment in action here tonight. Wow, listen to that chant. It sounds like this capacity crowd has something on their minds. That's their right. They paid for their tickets after all. Me too, and I do agree with what they're saying.
Look at this. He's using his opponent's taunt against him. Talk about sending a message of defiance to your opponent. Look at this. He's mocking his opponent. That'll get your opponent fired up. Just hope it doesn't backfire on you.
He's obviously making fun of his opponent here.
What the? That's his opponent's finishing maneuver. Look at this. You don't often see a superstar's own finishing move used against them like this. He's adding insult to injury by using that move against his opponent. Oh my! Someone's getting a taste of their own finishing move. How humiliating to get hit with your own finisher like that. Oh my God, there's a reason that's called a finishing move. The match usually doesn't go much longer. Look at this. Could it be? He's going for it. And that might be the end of the match right there. There's a reason that's called a finishing move. Oh man, many a superstar has fallen prey to that finishing maneuver. This is it. Here he goes. He sure is, and he got it. Huge finishing maneuver there by a superstar who's clearly in control of his opponent.
Look at this. This could be it.
Oh my God, what a brutal match. And the loser has paid the ultimate price. It's worse than anything I can imagine. But both superstars knew the risks going in. What a relief it must be to be able to walk back to that locker room after winning a match like this. My God, what a match. You never know what you're going to see in a buried alive match. You can't afford not to, because if there's one thing you can be sure of, it's that your opponent will. I don't know how you could even consider the fact that you might wind up buried alive and still come down that ramp for the match. And that's the match. One superstar walks back to the locker room, and one doesn't.
I don't think anyone in their right mind can, not when the stakes are that high.
It looks like these superstars are taking this into the crowd. It sure isn't, and these fans are getting more of a show than they bargained for. I guess the ring wasn't big enough for these superstars. Yeah, something tells me this is going to get ugly. These superstars will take this fight anywhere. Oh my, that move sent them right over the barricade. The barricade couldn't contain them. What could happen next? There they go, right over the barricade. Into the crowd they go. I can't believe it. These superstars don't seem to care where they fight.
They've taken the fight into the crowd. Those fans had better be careful. These superstars are out of control.
Oh no, not the ring rope. Come on, ref, get in there. Talk about rubbing your opponent's nose in it. I'm sure it is. Those ropes are made of steel cable with only a very thin covering over them. He's using the ring rope itself as a weapon. I don't know if using the ring rope like that is generally considered legal, but it sure is painful. And now he's using the ring rope as a weapon. It's an effective maneuver, but it's not pretty to look at. And we call them ropes, but they're mostly steel cables. The pain has got to be excruciating. What a vicious move, grinding your opponent's face into that ring rope. I don't doubt that for 1 second. Look at this, he's using the ring itself as a weapon. And that could affect his opponent's ability to see clearly for the rest of this match.
And those ropes are made of thick steel cable. I can only imagine how painful that must be.
Look at this, a blatant choke. And that's a situation that could take the win right out of your sails, no pun intended. He's got his opponent's throat right across the second rope, especially when your opponent is putting all of their body weight into it. And now a vicious choke, using the ring rope to cut off the supply of oxygen. I don't know if you'd call it strategy or flat-out ruthlessness. Somebody's got to stop this. You can't just choke your opponent with a rope like that. There's no question that it's hard to fight back if you can't even breathe. What a sadistic maneuver. That ring rope is cutting off the supply of oxygen. This is about as brutal as it gets, folks. This is a superstar who will stop at nothing to destroy his opponent. A blatant choke. This will be a short match if he keeps this up. You've got to think that it sends a message as well. I will do whatever it takes to beat you. Oh my, he's taking his opponent for a very uncomfortable ride here. And that ring rope is even less forgiving than it looks, folks. This is not a position you want to find yourself in. That's just about the last position you want to find yourself in. Oh my, talk about your compromising positions. I know I do, and in times like these, I'm glad to stay on this side of the announce table. I don't know what's more uncomfortable, watching this or experiencing it. It hurts just watching it. I can't imagine how excruciating this must be. And that is just about the last place you want a ring rope. I have to agree with you, partner. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. He's using that ring rope in ways that it was never intended to be used. Well, I guess adoption's still an option, right?
And this has got to be one of the most painful situations any superstar can find themselves in.
Oh my, he's grinding the face against the steel cage. Look at this vicious assault, grinding the face right into the cage wall. My God, look at the viciousness, the brutality of this assault. You're right about that. It's the old steel cage beauty treatment. Can you imagine the excruciating pain of that steel cage against human flesh and bone? You certainly can't. That cage is a lethal weapon, and it's being put to good use here. I think this match is setting new standards for brutality. It's a brutal competition for sure, and you've got to believe that only the most ruthless techniques will result in victory here tonight. Look at this. This is exactly what makes a match like this so dangerous. And a brutal slam of the head into that unforgiving steel cage. These superstars will stop at absolutely nothing to pick up the win here tonight. Absolutely. Slamming the head right into the steel mesh. There sure isn't. A slam of the head directly into the steel mesh of the cage. Oh, come on now. Put the damn monitor down. I'd hate to be the one who gets stuck with the bill for these things. They're welcome too, and I'm not getting in the middle of this. It sure does, partner. There go the monitors. Hey, cut that out. That equipment's expensive. Yeah, I wouldn't count on what's left of the announce table remaining in one piece for much longer. Here we go again. I think this announce table's days are numbered. Oh no, not another announce table. How many of these have we lost over the years? We might be standing for the rest of the match, partner.
It looks like we're about to lose another announce table. Here we go. I don't think that announce table's long for this world. If they're going to do what I think they're going to do, I think you're right.
Face first right into the announce table, and that's going to take its toll, believe me. My God, he's slamming his opponent's face right into the table. I can feel the impact from here. He's doing a number on his opponent. For crying out loud, why does he have to use the announce table for this? And that is not the position you want to be in at this point in a match like this.
I think he's trying to crack his opponent's head open on the announce table.
I'd just as soon watch from a distance if that's all the same to you. This is a little too close for comfort. And now the repeated slams of the head straight into the announce table. That will leave your head ringing long after the match is over. What a vicious assault, slamming his opponent's head directly into the announce table. I'd just as soon they kept this action in the ring where it belongs.
Head first, right into the table. This is getting a little too close for comfort.
He's got his opponent in the turnbuckle, and here comes the punches. And it's a flurry of closed fist punches in that turnbuckle. And you've got to think that these are going to take their toll here in this matchup. Look at this, shot after shot being dished out here in the turnbuckle, especially when your opponent is raining down those closed fist blows on you. There's nowhere to go once you're backed into that turnbuckle. And from the looks of things, they taste even worse than they look. Look at this, he's pummeling his opponent in the turnbuckle with those closed fist shots. Blow after blow after blow. When's it going to end? That turnbuckle is exactly where you don't want to wind up, and here's the reason why.
I bet you won't have to take off your shoes to keep count. You can say that again. A vicious series of blows there in the corner of the ring.
My God, head first right into the exposed steel of the turnbuckle. It's a surefire way to take the fight out of your opponent, that's for sure. Head first right into the turnbuckle. The exposed steel of that uncovered turnbuckle certainly won't do you any favors. We knew it was only a matter of time before someone put that exposed turnbuckle to use. And he's putting a lot of force behind it. What an impact. Look at this, head first, right into the exposed steel of that uncovered turnbuckle. And this one doesn't even have a cover. The steel of that turnbuckle is completely exposed. He's completely in control of his opponent, and he's putting that exposed turnbuckle to good use. And you can only imagine the kind of damage that steel turnbuckle must be inflicting with each smash. That exposed turnbuckle is a deadly weapon, and it's being put to good use here. And by that logic, it looks like he's showing his opponent that he's no fool. My God, head first, directly into those unforgiving steel steps. And those steps are made of solid steel. There's no give to them whatsoever. He's using those steel ring steps as a weapon. It certainly isn't, and a lesser superstar wouldn't be able to get up from this. Look at this, using the steel ring steps as a weapon. There certainly aren't, and you're going to need a few seconds to clear your head after something like that, if you can get them. He's driven his opponent's face directly into those steel ring steps. Look at this, the sheer brutality, driving his opponent face first into those ring steps. What a vicious maneuver, sending his opponent head first into the ring steps. Strategy or brutality, I don't know which, but either way, he's looking good after that move.
I don't think there's a single person in the arena who didn't. He's not going to win any sportsmanship awards for that, but he inflicted some serious damage against his opponents right there.
He's got the arm, and this is not going to be pretty. And that is a brutal but effective way to pick apart your opponent's arm strength. He's got his opponent by the arm. He just slammed his opponent's arm into the ring post. That's a solid steel beam right there. Look at this, a violent wrenching of the arm right into the ring post. And he's using the ring post to do it. He's going to work on the arm of his opponent, and he's using the ring post to do it. He might be trying to pick apart his opponent right here, a piece at a time. And look at this, a debilitating arm wrench, using that ring post as a weapon. This is pure viciousness, plain and simple. You're looking at a superstar who will stop at nothing to pick up the win. If that arm's being targeted the way I think it is, this could be the beginning of the end.
And that seems to be part of the game plan. Soften up that arm and make it into a weak spot.
Oh no, I don't think I like where this is going. Oh my, you talk about a sickening impact. What a vicious attack. There are some things that should just be completely off limits as far as I'm concerned, and that's one of them. My God, what a sadistic maneuver. That's the move that will take the fight out of you in a hurry. What a disgusting attack. I don't care how personal this is or how seriously you take the match, there's no call for something like that. Would you look at that? I can't believe he just rammed that pole between his opponent's legs like that. Groinal area? Is that supposed to be the technical term, doctor? Oh my, I think it's safe to say that is just about the last move any superstar wants to get hit by. Oh no, don't do it! Not the ring post! Don't try this anywhere. That might have resulted in permanent injury to some very delicate equipment down there.
Oh boy, he just targeted a very sensitive part of his opponent's anatomy. I've got to agree with you, just watching something like that makes me cringe.
A stomp to the chest and it's out of the ring. This isn't going to be pretty. He put the boots to his opponent, but he's not done yet. And there it is. He smashed the knee right into the ring post, and that's going to cause some serious damage right there. Uh-oh, where's this going? No, don't tell me he's going to do what I think he's going to do. And that ring post is solid steel. There's no give to it whatsoever. He could have inflicted some serious damage right there. If this is going where I think it's going, this could be the beginning of the end. Oh my, this doesn't look good.
You're not wrong. A vicious slam of the knee into the ring post. And I don't care how tough you are. Your joints are always vulnerable to brutal attacks like that. You called it. That knee bounced right off the ring post, and the ring post didn't budge an inch.
They're right next to the barricade. What's going to happen next? A sickening impact as flesh and bone meets that unforgiving security barrier. Head first right into the security barricade, and this might be getting a little too close for comfort for these fans. Or your opponent's head anyway. Oh my, a brutal slam of the head right into that security barrier. And at this point in the match, you can't afford to take a move like that. Would you look at that? A vicious slam of the head into that thinly padded security barrier. He slammed his opponent's head right off that security barrier, and he's in good position to follow up now. What brutality! There's no give whatsoever to that security barrier. Did you see that? Head first, right into the barricade.
I don't know if it's smart or just plain vicious, but there's no doubt that it's going to take its toll. My head hurts just thinking about it. I can't even imagine how painful that must be.
He's got his opponent by the barricade. He sure is. Chest first, right into the top of the barricade. I think that barricade's about to come into play. Oh my, he might have just knocked the wind out of his opponent right there. Uh-oh, I'm not sure I like where this is going. Did you see that? He might have just cracked his opponent's ribs by dropping him onto that barricade. Look out, folks. Chest first, right onto that security wall. And talk about your bad landings. Splashed, chest first, onto that unforgiving security wall. That can knock the wind and the fight right out of you. He's got some bad intentions in mind for that security wall. Dropped directly onto the barricade. And I don't think that thin layer of padding did much to soften that impact. Look at this. He just dropped his opponent chest first onto that thinly padded barricade. Chest first, right onto the security wall. That's going to take some time to recover from, but time is a luxury you don't often have in a match like this. He's got him hanging off of the apron, and he's grinding his forearm right into the facial features of his opponent. There's the forearm grind, a painful maneuver. I can only imagine how excruciating that must be. Hanging off the ring apron is not where you want to be, and that's why. This is all about weakening your opponent's spirit and body at the same time. His opponent is helpless, and he's going to work with that forearm. I don't doubt it, partner. That twisted expression of pain on his opponent's face tells the whole story. This is not where you want to wind up, hanging off the apron with your opponent in total control. A vicious chop to the chest. That one echoed off the walls of the arena. A fierce chest slap. That's got to make you think twice about continuing the match. A sharp chop to the chest like that can knock the wind right out of you. He's got his opponent in a very vulnerable position.